So this is another episode of the saga of me trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing with my doll collection, because I feel like I've finally kind of gotten a grip on the early Pleasant Company stuff. As you can see, talk about chaos. I have like 1,000 Pleasant Company dolls, but I've really been enjoying sort of buying new things from American Girl and experiencing the brand with, fresh eyes, new takes, all of that stuff. And yeah, it's just been fun racking up a bunch of points and getting dolls for half price. But the consequence of that is you end up with a pile of like 11 dolls still stuck in their boxes at the foot of your bed, so you wake up every morning and wonder, what is your life? So I've really gotten on this kick lately that I need to sort of pare down my new doll collection so that, again, I don't have so much lying around my house. And I've really been into the idea of boy dolls. However, I ended up buying everything that they had at the end of year sale last year as far as boy dolls go. So I think I ended up getting like 4 or 5 dolls, and pretty much all of them stayed in the boxes except for one whom I've decided to sell. So yeah, I feel like I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing, what is my life. And as of today, I feel like I want to sell all of the boys and hop on the create your own generator on American Girl's website and make a custom one. And I'm still figuring out if I want it to look like me or do something completely different. But I think the first step is to sort of figure out if maybe I can make a custom on my own and make something truly unique, or if I just need to say, all right, Jonathan, you're not going to do that. Just order the CYO. So my original plan was to buy this doll, whose number I forgot because I had to take the box lid off because Amazon screwed it up. But I got him for the Black Friday sale and sort of my birthday too, which was 6 months ago. So clearly, I am being incredibly irresponsible, so I felt like today was probably the day to go ahead and get this guy out of the box, maybe put a different outfit on him, and maybe some sunglasses to cover up those crazy eyes, and see if I want to hold on to this doll, which, spoiler alert, I'm probably not going to. But I have sort of been thinking about turning one of my 121 dolls into a mini-me, which I will grab them really quick just so you can have a look. So these two girls I got on a super Amazon sale that they randomly had, and I got them crazy cheap, so that's why I have 2 of them. And my original plan was to turn one into a boy and have basically 90s fraternal twins. I still kind of like that idea, to be perfectly honest, but obviously I have to re-wig one of them, and now that they've been sitting on my desk for like a month, I have fallen in love with both of them, and it feels incredibly torturous and rude to pull one of their wigs off. So that's the dilemma I'm stuck with now, is can I actually bring myself to customize one of these? Because, I mean, hello, these dolls are cute as hell, and I don't want to screw them up. I feel like if I start pulling wigs off and stuff, I might have serious regret. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take this guy out of the box, I'm going to stick him in one of these outfits, and we're going to talk about maybe what my plans are for my new version of my American Girl collection. So yeah, it is completely unfeasible for me to collect every single boy doll that American Girl ever made at this point, because I swear there's like 6 or 7 of them, including Logan. And then, there's always the CYO generator where you can literally make an almost endless number of them. So I just don't have the space for them. It's time to pare back. And the funny thing is I actually really like to dress my girl dolls in boy clothes. So clearly I'm obviously like hankering to have a boy doll to actually dress. And I don't know, it's just different, right? So I really need to figure out what I'm doing with all of this stuff. And, I really, really wanted to collect all of the boys, but now's just not the time. I don't have the space. So what I'm thinking is maybe I'll be able to do a light-skinned one and a deep-skinned one, and maybe only have 2. And I think both of them are going to be customs, or CYOs at least. So my goal for unboxing this guy today really is to figure out if I like this wig, and maybe if I could possibly put it, like snatch it off his head and put it on one of these other dolls. But I do feel like I'm probably going to chicken out of that. So I know a lot of y'all have been doing this too, where you hop on the CYO generator on AmericanGirl.com and you just start playing around. Like, you're watching, I was going to say Netflix. We haven't had a Netflix account in months or maybe even years at this point. But you know the drill, right? You're watching TV and you naturally have your phone in your hand, because if you're like me, you can't take your face out of your phone for 2 minutes. And so, yeah, you just click around on the CYO generator saying like, all right, if I had an extra spare wad of cash, what kind of doll would I make? And I feel like I have spent hours on that CYO generator over the years. I mean, literally since I started collecting, I've always thought it would be really fun to put one together. But obviously, I have never actually gone and pressed the order button. And I think once they started adding boy stuff into the generator last year, I really started wanting to get one. But they are more expensive, so that's why I sort of fell into the trap of basically buying all the ones that they had made as Truly Me dolls. But I feel like none of them are right for my collection. I think of my new Mattel AmericanGirl.com stuff that I order directly from the company. I think of that as unserious. Like, I don't even think of it as a collection, so it's kind of stupid of me to sit here and try and buy all of any one thing, and I tend to cycle this stuff in and out as well. So if ever I can get it on a good deal, I typically will buy it if I want it, and if they have a sale or if I have a bunch of points racked up. So I know that if I pay like $65 to $87 for a doll, I'm pretty sure I can sell it for what I paid for it if I decide I no longer want it. And that's pretty much the cycle I'm going through now. Is I just way overbought at the end of year sale because the deals were like the best deals that they've ever done, and I just couldn't say no. So I just ended up with too many. So it's time to figure out who gets to stay, and I'm trying to keep it to fewer than 5. And because I have my eye on possibly getting 2 create your own dolls, it is time to get rid of some dolls. All right, so this is my favorite part of the unboxing, and that's taking the neck strap off. Let's see if we get a good pop today. Mid. Okay, so this doll obviously is trying to make a run for it because I think he heard that I was going to snatch his wig off and give it to another doll. But yeah, this doll is pretty cute. I have to say, I am not the world's biggest fan of American Girl's new version of their classic sculpt, and I think a lot of people agree with me. I just think that they flattened it too much, and especially with the boy, like the quote-unquote boy sculpt, where they've removed the teeth and done some extra changes to the jawline and cheeks and stuff. I don't know. I just look at this doll and it doesn't quite look like an American Girl doll to me because there are too many changes that were made to it. So I would say it's probably pretty safe to say that I'm going to sell this doll. It just will come down to whether or not I'm going to be selling him bald or not. But I have to say, I really do like this outfit, especially if you're considering buying it for a child. I think that this is very like something that a kid would wear now. So I think the outfit is cute, but at the same time, I kind of like to dress my dolls like a little bit more fashion savvy. I mean, not that I'm like Anna Wintour or anything, but I just like to have them dressed not so much more adult, but just, again, a little bit more fashion conscious. So things like these shoes and this outfit, they probably will just go in my little caboodle that I have to store the new clothes in, and I'll probably never put them on a doll again. But yeah, I do think that he's pretty cute. I love the haircut, especially because this is the type of haircut that I had sort of in late middle school, early high school. This was like a really big style trend for hair. I think that was a weird way of saying that, but I think every character on Friends had this haircut at once. You know, the one where it's like you pretty much have like a long buzz cut and it's brushed forward, and then you do this like flip thing at the top. I feel like kids are kind of doing a version of this still. I don't know why this style has hung around for so long, but it has, and honestly, I'm grateful for it because it adds like a little bit of nostalgia to this doll for me. But yeah, I have to say, I'm really not a fan of the classic mold anymore, I have to say, because I just feel like they've made too many changes to it. It's just, I don't know, I feel like we need to go back to something more along the lines of what they were doing maybe in 1999 or possibly 1987. I really think that that's when it looked the best. But also, I don't think it's a really big deal that the boys have their mouth closed. I think some people like it. For me personally, I just think of that as sort of a feature for Kaya, and I don't know, I'm one of those people that has kind of rubbed the wrong way a little bit, that they took that sculpt and then turned it into a Caucasian doll. So, that I know it was done years ago, but at the same time, it's sort of like, I kind of want to put that back in the box, if you know what I mean. So I feel like, I don't know, I'm like a little salty that the boys have closed mouths. I feel like one of the hallmarks of an American Girl doll is the buck teeth that they all have. So I don't know, I have seen some people make the create your own boy dolls with like the Josefina sculpt, and some have used classic and other things too, and I feel like that they look boyish enough with the teeth and everything. So I'm almost certain that's what I'm going to do, but let me put a new outfit on him while I'm running my mouth, and we can talk about it some more. So yeah, originally, a fun fact for you if you're not really into vintage Pleasant Company and the origins of the brand. So the original doll that was basically a licensed Götz doll, which is the doll company in West Germany that Pleasant Roland used to manufacture the earliest Pleasant Company dolls. She licensed the original head sculpt from that company. It was a sculpt that already existed for a couple of years before she purchased it. And they made a lot of girl dolls with that sculpt, but they also made a couple boy dolls with that sculpt as well. So that original classic sculpt that you know for like Molly, Samantha, and Kirsten was actually used on boy dolls in the mid 80s as well. So to me, after seeing a bunch of those dolls as boys, it still looks like a very, I want to say, unisex or all gender face sculpt. So to me, I feel like you can make a doll of any gender with certainly the original classic sculpt. But honestly, I feel like just about all of them work well as boys because these dolls are really sculpted to look like 9 and 10-year-olds. And you know, before you've gone through puberty, you tend to not have as many facial differences like amongst genders. So I don't think it's a big deal that we use all the same face sculpts for whatever gender you decide to make your doll. So yeah, I just think that is not really a big deal to me as far as like having to have no teeth on the doll to make it be a boy. But I feel like I've seen enough of them where they look boyish enough to me that I'm not worried that it's gonna look overly feminized for the type of doll that I want to make. And like I've said before, I really would love to make a mini-me doll, but I don't know. I see everybody's and they look so similar to them, especially if you're somebody that doesn't have facial hair, because it's so hard to do stuff like that and it not look strange. I've seen a couple people do it and it actually doesn't look too bad, so I may ultimately attempt it. But I think the other option too is to sort of design your mini-me to be like the 8 or 9-year-old version of yourself, which ultimately might be what I have to go with. And I've been trying to figure out which sculpt to go with, and I'm basically down to either Joss, basically this doll, or a Josefina. So at some point, probably in the next couple of days, honestly, I'm gonna sit down on the generator and probably just go ahead and purchase one because my points are expiring in like 2 days, and of course, last minute crisis mode, I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to spend them. So I have a strong hunch that I'm probably gonna do some version of a mini-me in the CYO generator, unless this doll that I'm dressing now just looks so freaking awesome that I feel like I don't need to do that. But I don't know. I'm torn because I really want a mini-me, but also on the same token, there are some of the features that I would use that like my own personal features that I could put on a doll that I actually don't like as like a doll feature. So for instance, I'm obviously very freckly, but I don't really love the freckles on American Girl dolls typically. So I'm already like starting out the gate not great. And also I have heterochromia, which I guess some people think it's cool. I find it annoying because I feel like it makes my face less symmetrical. And also, when you're trying to make a doll, like half of my right eye is green, and obviously they don't have that option in the CYO generator. So it's either make my doll's eyes blue, like just blue and ignore the heterochromia, or do like the left eye blue and the right eye green, which I don't even know if I like. Sometimes I see dolls with heterochromia and I like it, and other times it just looks like it's too asymmetrical. So I don't know. That's why I'm just all over the place with this. And maybe some of y'all can help me in the comments. I don't know. Maybe by the time you see this, I've probably already ordered it. So it's a moot point. But yeah, that's why I'm struggling so much, is because it's like I prefer the second lightest skin tone to the lightest skin tone. But I feel like I'm very clearly lighter than this skin tone, but also the undertones on this match me. So it's just this whole thing. Do those of you that have made mini-me's, did you struggle this much with them, or am I just completely overthinking this? Because I know that you can't return the create your own doll, so I feel like if I screw it up and don't like the doll, I'm gonna be really pissed off. So that's why I think I'm sitting here agonizing over it, especially because I know you can't return them if you don't like it, or I feel like boy dolls are harder to sell too. Not everybody really likes them, so I feel like I don't want to get stuck with an expensive doll that I can't sell. This is cute, but he doesn't have any shoes on yet, so I'm like, she could be a farmer in those clothes. But yeah, I really love this outfit. This is one that I've been passing around to all my favorite dolls, which is basically an amalgamation of some of Nikki Hoffman's outfits. And these are Kit's school shoes. I just really like them. So anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and put some sunglasses on him because, like I said, I just really am not a fan of the way Classic Sculpt looks, especially around the eyes. I just think that like I said before, they flattened it too much. So I feel like maybe a pair of sunglasses might make it a little bit more likable. But yeah, I have to say, I know this is like such a like letdown to watch a video and you're like, I hate this doll. I truthfully I don't hate him. I just know that I'm only going to be keeping a very select few new American Girl dolls and I need to really really be in love with them to keep them. So I have to say I don't know. I'm going to have to live with him maybe for a couple of days just to be sure. But whether or not I keep him will determine whether or not I do more of a mini-me on the CYO generator or do one with deep skin. Because one of the things I'm thinking of doing is doing the one with the deepest skin tone and maybe like green eyes. And probably the curly hair. I'm not sure yet. And so he'll be able to replace my Truly Me 80 and also add another boy doll to my collection. So that's kind of what I'm thinking with that. But also, like, everybody has a mini-me and I feel left out. I want a mini-me, damn it. This outfit is cute as hell though. I really, really like how this looks. This is sort of my outfit of the day every day lately. But yeah, I really do like this wig. I think it's a good wig and you can like play around with styling it a little bit too. Like, I remember some of the original photos of Logan, like the stock photos that they had in like, I guess it was 2017. They sort of had his hair brushed down a little bit because he had that same flip too. But you can see here, like you can kind of like sort of cascade it down the side of his face. And I think that looks really good too. So I know that these shorter wigs can seem like there's not a lot of hair play value. And truthfully, there's not, obviously, because it's just shorter and there are limited things you can do with them. But whether you're doing like whatever gender doll you decide to do for your create your own, I feel like there are some options with this if you wanted to do, like, say, for instance, a girl doll with this short wig. I think there are some options for, like, putting a really cute little barrette in the hair. And, you know, you can play around with how the bangs are, like, sort of flipped up or down. And truthfully, I think you might need a little bit of a trim around the ears. But yeah, that's kind of the thing with these dolls. I really feel like as far as gender goes, you really can kind of make whatever you want, whether they have teeth or not. So I do think that this looks really cute. But I have to say, I feel like if his head was the Josefina sculpt, I probably would like him just a little bit more. And also, I prefer like the green and gray eyes to the blue. So I don't know. I feel like my mini-me is probably going to have a little bit of creative license just so I like the appearance of the doll. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of torn. But yeah, like I said, I'm really kind of nervous to place that order for the CYO doll, knowing that I can't return him if I don't like him. But I have a pretty strong hunch that I'll like him better than this, so I'm probably going to do it. So just to refresh your memory, here he is next to a Joss sculpt. I'm pretty sure this is number 121, although don't hold me to it. I'm really bad with the numbers on these dolls. But I really do prefer the face sculpt on this doll so much more to this one. And I have seen some people customize this doll with this wig and it looks really good. So I am so tempted to do it. But I might just go ahead and order the CYO because I really want that experience and getting a brand new boy doll made directly in the factory, shipped with that. I mean, you've seen the boxes before, right? Those like really nice gift boxes with a ribbon. And I just really want that experience. So I think I'm going to start with that. And then hopefully if I don't like him, maybe somebody will buy him off me. But I don't know. It's just so hard, right? Because this is one of the most beautiful dolls in their lineup right now because I just absolutely love this face sculpt and it is really, really tempting to use it. Plus, if I did this, I would be able to repaint the eyes and actually paint them exactly like my eyes are. So there would be the advantage of that. So I feel like I didn't accomplish anything in this video other than probably devaluing a doll by taking it out of the box right before selling it. But either way, I hope you had fun today, despite me doing this in the clothes that I slept in and being completely chaotic. But that's how it goes sometimes. Be sure to check me out on Patreon at patreon.com/idreamofjohnny, where there are hours of extra American Girl content. It's super cheap and it's also a really great way to support my channel so I can continue making videos. And you can also support this channel by shopping at idreamofjohnny.com, where I have tons of awesome original merch and the occasional vintage American Girl item. Or if you want to keep hanging out on YouTube, you could maybe watch this video right here and we can keep this thing going. Hope to see you there. Bye!